I'll compare Square and Helcim on payment methods, ease of use, features, fees, and who that platform is best for. Plus, we'll create an online invoice, automate a payment collection page. It's a perfect video for small business owners, service-based businesses, and healthcare practices. On Square, you can collect payment through debit card, credit card, Cash App, and banking information, and of course, tap to pay if you're in person. The platform is pretty easy to use. I've been using it for 4 years. Signing up requires a username and password, and then of course some personal information. No credit card is required for either one of these. These are free tools. They only charge you based on the transaction fees, which we'll talk about later in this video. Square is the most popular online payment processor, so the user interface is incredibly easy. That being said, you kind of have to know where to look because there are so many different features. They really stand out on features. Fees, it's a little difficult, which we'll talk about soon. On Helcim, you can also collect payment through debit card, credit card, banking information, and tap to pay if you're in person, but they don't have access to Cash App. That being said, I switched over to Helcim 6 months ago, mainly because of their features. I use the invoice terminal a ton, which I'll show you right here, and their fees are pretty competitive. Now, as we jump into the Square features, if you like this little comparison table and how we're setting up this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. YouTube is my full-time job, and those two little buttons enable me to grow my business the same way how we're trying to grow your business with this video. So much appreciated. Now on Square, my favorite feature is the home interface. So like you can see here, you can see my sales month over month. I use Square for a very long time, and the thing that I like about the home interface is it kind of brings to the forefront one of the most important metrics of your business, which is the sales. I can track my month over month growth right here. Now let's imagine that you're trying to get sales, then you have to be creating online invoices or online digital stores. So to create an invoice, it's really super easy. What you could do is go ahead and press invoices over here on the left side, and then there's a full table that shows all my different invoices, who they're for, the status, the price. Now of course you want to go ahead and create an invoice to see how easy this can be. So if you press create invoice up here, I fast forwarded this part right here on the left side, adding all this information like customer, what you sold them. That is all incredibly easy, so I'm just going to skip over that part. The things that I really like about Square is one is the ability to turn on tipping. You can also enable them to turn on their payment method, but the biggest reason I use it is because of the split payment. So essentially, I always want a deposit before I do a really long contract. So here I can go ahead and ask for a deposit, either based by amount or percentage of the sale, which is incredibly nice. The third notable feature of Square that I really like is the ability to connect it to your website. I connected it here to go ahead and sell shirts on my website. I have this one called Minding My Own Small Business, and it's really easy for the user to go ahead and click on this, select their size, and go ahead and add it to their cart, which I really enjoy. Now, going into Helcim, the reason I use it is some of their newer features that really enable it to kind of stick with the times and accelerate the growth of your business really quickly. So of course they have the invoice terminal. We just saw this on Square. This is really nice. You can see all your different sales here. You can see the status, see who they're from, and just like the last one, you can go ahead and press create invoice. Here, what's really cool is I created this invoice template. So I automatically added my logo, golden hour. I run an event planning business with my partner. So here we can not only add our logo, but any client that we worked with in the past, their name is automatically saved here. So let's go ahead and create this one just by going down and selecting someone. Now, one of the things I really use this tool for is the items. So traditionally, when you create an invoice, sometimes you're creating those invoices from scratch. I went ahead and saved here all my different products and then all my different services. So with this one, for instance, we're taking for photography, and since this is a family friend, we're actually going to reduce the rate and drop it from $300 to $250. So it's nice and adjustable. The other reason I use it is, in business, everyone's always trying to get their share of your revenue, which is, it really sucks. Here you can go ahead and add sales tax, which is incredibly helpful, so you don't have to pay this on the back end. So we're in Utah. I'm just going to put UT, and now you can see it automatically adds our sales tax. There's other things like discounts, shipping, but since this is all in person, I'm just going to add a final note that says something nice and friendly that shows up on the invoice when the user gets that digital payment link, or we just provide them with the PDF. So let's go ahead here and send it. Now, the other thing that I really want to show you is my second favorite feature of Helcim, which is the online checkout. So like we said, we offer those same goods over and over. We offer the invitations, we do photography, and then we do all the different signs that show up. So product businesses that tend to be the same price. Some of those, we don't want to kind of manage the customer interactions for every single one. If someone's ordering signs, they don't need to talk to me to order signs. They can go ahead and just purchase the signs from our website. But I don't have a website for the eventing business. So what made it really easy is if I go ahead and click this one that says online checkout, here you can actually make a small little website for your business list that's automatically generated. So here it adds our profile photo. I added this banner, and then all of our products that we choose to sell in there automatically show up on the phone, and it creates us our own custom domain. So now anytime someone clicks that, they can make a purchase on our website that isn't exactly tied to our time, which is really nice. So on Square is the largest, so they have the most features. Fees is where they're kind of lacking. So you can see here for debit and credit cards, they charge a 3.3% fee on the sale and 30 cents per transaction. And then for bank transfers, it's 1% per transaction for as big as your sale is. Here's what that looks like depending on how much your sale amount is. I didn't really take this seriously when I first started growing my business, and now that my business is in, I would say, hyper growth stage right now, then this definitely matters for you. The other one is for Helcim. So if we compare this side by side, they charge 2.3% on the sale and then 25 cents per transaction. And then for bank transfers, this is the one that I try to get all my transactions through bank transfers. They only charge 0.5% and it's charged at $6. So you'll never pay more than $6 in fees if you're always collecting banking information, which if you run an online business or even an in-person business, that is a game changer. So here's what that looks like comparing Helcim and Square. Now just stick with me here. This is probably the most important part of the video. Key differentiator between Square and Helcim is Helcim gives volume discounts. So as your revenue grows month over month, you get a greater discount on whatever fee you're willing to pay. You can see a little bit of this here. If you want to test this, the link's in the description. If you click that, you can play around, enter your numbers, and it will tell you what your fee will be. Go compare this. It is generally the cheapest one that I found online, and it has all the different features that you would like. Now, the most important thing is if you're trying to grow your sales, you need to have a strong Google review presence. This video shows you how to make a QR code for Google reviews for free. It's our most popular video on the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're trying to grow my business as well as growing your business. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.